told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Welcome to the Journey of Life podcast powered by Zozo, the brand. If improving yourself, elevating, and educating yourself is part of your life goals, this is the podcast for you. Follow the podcast at Journey of Life Podcast, JOL Podcast on Instagram. You can follow me, your host, at Tendaisha Monalisa on Instagram as well. I'm your host, as usual, and I'm bringing you another episode of the Debrecen Diaries. And as per tradition, we have a special guest host. Welcome to the podcast. And feel free to introduce yourself.
Oh, now you just got me excited. Okay. I am Siddiq Temtope, aka Dr. T Shreds,
Come on.
aka Dr. Batsman. I'm from Nigeria and I just recently finished medical school.
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yo, I think actually I remember a couple of years back when I met you, but I think I didn't meet you properly, like us knowing each other. I just knew you as a friend of my ex.
Yeah.
A friend of an ex, you know what I mean, at the time. So I think you started doing your hair with me. I think that's when we officially started interacting, like interpersonally, and we talked about business, we talked about different things, and it was always like refreshing having you over. And then the hair session would finish and would still have
exactly. Because there's still so much to talk about every time.
So much to talk about. So now today we can go off
trust,
a little bit.
I'm not even holding back.
Yeah. So as you know, guys, as per tradition, we always have an education segment where we share some really important information in a way that you can learn and you can know a little bit more specific details about different kinds of things. And because Dr. Tammy here is a personal trainer, right?
Yes, exactly.
He's going to give us some education on what it's like to train or to go to the gym or to work out or body build. Yes, championships under his belt. Like you're really doing the things, you know? Like, no, I just have to give you your props. Like, well done.
Thank you very much.
And I think you should keep going. I think it's a really incredible example that you're setting here in Debrecen, and I'm pretty sure wherever you go. So
I hope so. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think most people, especially the ones that are following me at Dr. T Shred's Instagram accounts, already know the basics of, training, the whole calorie in, calorie out scenario. I'll say if I wanted to help people out on this podcast, to be about combining training with a hectic lifestyle.
Okay.
Because as medical students or as students in general, we are literally always studying. And the moment we stop studying, we feel like the world is going to end. We feel like, oh, I'm meant to be studying rather than doing this shit I'm doing. I'm meant to be studying rather than, going to the gym. This is what
really?
I get. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
Yeah, this is a challenge for most people, and I also had this challenge when I started. I remember I actually started taking gym very, very seriously, like end of 2017, and that was winter area. That was after the winter exam period. Then after I took it seriously, got my transformation. Then the summer, that was summer exam period, I was like, I'm going to stop going to the gym
to focus.
You're
actually right.
On school. This was what I was planning on doing. And I realized that I don't read for 24 hours straight.
Nobody does.
I don't read for 12 hours straight. I am going to take a study break. and that study break can last for hours, honestly. So why will I why will I sacrifice gym for studying when I'm not even studying all the time? So what I'll advise people to do is that we both know, all of us listening to this, we all know that you don't study for 12 hours straight, neither do you study for 8 hours straight. Going to the gym is actually way better from your mental health and even for focusing than actually not going. And I remember this funny thing. I actually started training people around 2019-ish. My first clients too, he also had the same problem. And he said he realized that he was doing way better in school while going to the gym. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Because it adds discipline to your life.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the reasons why I started going to the gym. I think for me, it's been since 2020. I think my goal at the time wasn't even like body goals or anything. I think I wanted to create some routine for myself because I had gone through a really significant life change from like a long-term like relationship where like I feel like my life was built around that.
Yes.
So now I didn't know what to do with myself, honestly. So I was like, oh, I want to try the gym, And I think a lot of the feedback that I used to get, because generally I'm a slim person, was like, oh, what do you want from the gym, Because apparently gym is associated with losing weight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was like, I want a routine, and I know that working out is not about that. Actually, because I was watching a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of girls who are slim like me, who had the same body type as me, who go to the gym and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, I want just a routine. Let me put some stuff in there, And then that's when I started. And I think when I started, that's when I started to build like, okay, body goals. I'm already here. What do I want to achieve? I can actually sculpt my body or build my body the way I would like. And that's when I started building the goals, building the discipline, building like the diet to achieve those goals and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to be asking you some questions.
Sure.
So that we can make this education segment notable. So how can one decide like if the gym particularly is a good fit for them for fitness? Because other people can take soccer, basketball, football. Sorry.
Yes, I don't know why you even called it soccer. Why? Why did you even call it
I'm
soccer?
sorry. I'm so sorry.
God.
Football.
Exactly.
Football. Some people take football. Some people take other different kinds of sports. So I think gym is also kind of
it's
like
a sport, kind of sport,
right?
Yes, definitely.
Like how can one decide that this could be a good fit for them?
In my opinion, which I don't care if anyone disagree with, gym is actually meant for everyone. Because even if you look at the professional athletes, professional footballers, professional basketballers, whatever athletes, they have 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 days in a week where they actually go to the gym and do some weight training. Because it's, of course, you can play other sports, but going to the gym and building a part of your body is going to help you with whatever sport you are playing.
But I think but these are professionals, right? So maybe that's much more important. But let's say as a person who's not a professional athlete, because I think I'm of the opinion that working out, particularly at the gym, is not for everyone. That's what I used to think, or that's what I actually currently think, because I realized like maybe the weightlifting and all this stuff is not for everyone. Other people can go for like Pilates or yoga or what. So this is what I was thinking, that if maybe you're a person who doesn't enjoy those kind of things, and if you're a person maybe who doesn't enjoy, for example, I don't enjoy jogging or running places. I think that's why the gym is a good place for me, because I don't need to run anywhere. If I want to run, I'll run on the treadmill in one. True. Like everything is in one place, if that makes sense. So I think for me, that's why the gym works for me. And I think because I have a faster metabolism, right? So building mass is something that I would need to do with like weight training.
Yep.
So if, let's say, I took up other sports, that would actually have the opposite effect. So I think this is why the gym is also like a good idea for me, because I wanted to gain like muscle mass or get toned. So I needed weight. So I think this was like my perspective.
But you're saying this because you say gym is not meant for everyone, in the sense that if you don't want to change your body, you should not go to the gym.
No, I was saying that maybe if you're, how can I express what I'm trying to say? Like I think everybody should incorporate some kind of exercise in their
Exercise is
lifestyle.
definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
So for me, I was just like, okay, the gym is that for me.
Yep.
So this is why I'm like, maybe other people can incorporate exercise, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't have to be the gym. It doesn't have, and I don't think the gym is meant for everyone, but I think the gym should be meant for everyone. No, hear me out.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. It's like saying, okay, you want to lose weight. We all know to lose weight, calorie in, calorie out, calorie deficit. But what makes it easier is going to the gym, lifting heavy, doing cardio. Of course, nobody's saying you can't. Of course, you can decide that you want to be playing football every day to be in a calorie deficit. But the thing about playing football every day is that you're not even keeping track. Gym is so easy. You can keep track of everything you are doing, and you can know how much energy you are using, how much calories you are burning. Just there are systems in place for that. But I want to play football every day, for instance. First of all, you're not going to have that energy to play football every day, to put in 100% every day to play football. If you can, good for you. Then you're a superhuman being and you will get your goal. This is for someone that wants to lose weight, yeah? Someone that wants to build muscle, which is way harder to do while playing football. There are other systems in place like CrossFit, calisthenics, or however they pronounce that shit. They are there too, of course. But compared to gym, they're way harder.
Okay. I actually didn't think about it in this way. So that's an education for y'all. Actually, like we plugging gym right now. We're plugging the gym.
Literally, if you don't go to the gym, go to the gym now. Stop wasting stop wasting time.
Yeah, if you're sitting at home, just try it. Just try the gym.
Just go to the gym.
Just
you won't regret it, I promise you.
Yeah. So I think I put up a few points on like things like to consider when deciding on how to work out at the gym. So like let's say like body goals, like how would you advise someone to, like build up their body goals for the gym that's realistic?
Okay. So I'm going to tell you my mistake. I'm going to help you out from my mistake. When I started going to the gym again, 2017, my body goals were so unrealistic. Back then, we saw 12 weeks challenge, 8 weeks challenge, 4 weeks challenge, those kind of challenges that my goal was to lose weight. So I had this mentality that if this motherfucker can do it, if this guy can do it, then
Just keep it PG.
then I can do it. And I think this is a mistake that many people make, especially girls actually. Guys nowadays don't make that mistake. We want to get there fast. And we get disappointed when we don't get there fast. And it's a big problem.
Then you give up.
Yeah, when choosing your weight goal or your fitness goal, you need to be realistic. Look at yourself in the mirror. How long do you actually think you are going to take to get to that goal? If you are realistic with yourself, you'll put in effort based on your reality. if that makes sense. So I won't lie, this took me years to actually come up with. I used to think, oh, in order to be shredded, I need 12 weeks. In order to be shredded, I need, 8 weeks. But recently, I'm like, I can take 30 weeks to get there. I don't need to rush it. And what you need to know, the slower you get there, the longer it lasts. Facts.
I'm with you on there.
The slower you get there, the longer it lasts. If you actually are lucky enough to get there in such a short time, if you rebound or you stop doing what you're doing,
your gains may be short-lived.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think another thing I realized also when considering like how to work out at the gym, you have to consider your gender. Like what you were mentioning about like, like maybe sometimes girls are so unrealistic with their goals. Honestly, I also see this all the time. Everybody thinks they're going to get this huge, I don't know, booty or behind and
Yeah.
everything. I feel like if you're working out your natural body, and you're not having any enhancements or things like that, you have to be realistic because I think everybody has their natural frame.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So while you can build muscle and things like that, and you can shape your body, given our more hourly glass figure, you're still working with your natural frame that God gave you. I think another thing for ladies to consider with the gym as well, I think, which is something I discovered not too long ago, is that I think unless you're, especially if you're not a professional bodybuilder or things like that, it's not necessary for you to put yourself through the amount of work that involves you getting like six packs and things like that,
Yep.
because you lower your fat percentage so
Too
much,
low.
and it's not good for your hormones. So I think that's something to keep in mind when you decide to, bodybuild and stuff like that with the ladies. Of course, your body type.
Your body type. Yeah, you need to take that
Yeah,
into
like,
consideration. Everyone has a different body type, especially when it comes to losing weight. There's some girls, especially girls, um, the first place they lose weight from is their belly.
really?
Yeah, there are many people like that. The first place they lose,
Which is great, right? Because we're
it's,
always trying to slash the
yeah, it's
waist.
great. But if you're a girl and you have a friend that goes to the gym and you realize, and you have the big belly, and you realize that the first place she loses fat from is her belly, you're gonna assume that it's normal, but it's not normal. That's just the body type. Because
Yes.
you can't target fat. You really cannot target
Unfortunately.
fat. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I wish it was that easy.
I think, well, I guess it's nice that muscles you can
You can't
target.
target muscles. So
Yeah.
the example I give all my clients, like, oh, how do I lose belly fat? How do I lose my arm fat? Is there any special exercise for my arm fat? I tell them that imagine you fill up a tub and you use a bowl to remove the water. If you remove the water, it's not just that part of the tub that's going to be
It's
empty.
the whole thing.
It's the whole thing. So you just need to keep on doing what you're doing, or keep on doing what I tell you to do. And with time, it's going to go. It might be the last part, but it's still going to go. You can't target it specifically. It's not like that. That's how it's done.
That's fair enough, because I think, I mean, I realized that, like, for example, I have a fast metabolism, so it's getting slower now, actually, now that I think about it. I think since I turned 25, I really realized like my body now behaves way different than it used to. I'm still there with the fast metabolism, but it's a bit slower. And naturally, it's much easier for me to get toned, much easier for me to get lean. So maintaining my gains as far as mass and things like that is much, much bigger fit feed for me than, but now it's because my metabolism is slowed down, it's not as bad. So even if I don't, I feel like before I used to take protein, not even that much now that I think about it, but I guess it was something more than I ever did in my life, right? Even if it was like a scoop more or whatever. So it contributed something. And Now I realize that I don't, like you said, over time I don't lose my gains that easily. Like I can not go to the gym for a while and everything like that, but I will not see a significant difference in my body. But I remember when I first started, for example, like I got my pecs right away, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and things like that. But like I was really consistent, especially back then. I was really consistent. So I built a lot of discipline and everything. I think I built my body to the point that like it's got that base. So over a long period of time, if you keep that consistency, it gives you a really good base that even when you fall off and things like that, you're not going to
You're not gonna
lose
lose
all the
everything.
hard work that you've put
Exactly.
in, which
Exactly.
can be demotivating for people.
Yeah.
Then lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle are you living? Because I feel like that contributes a lot, right? What you were talking about, like, okay, if you're a student, if you're mostly studying, are you really active or are you
Yeah.
not? Are you just mostly sitting, eating snacks while you're studying?
No, we all do
Are
that.
you like, what's your lifestyle? Are you constantly drinking, taking recreational drugs and all
Drinking
these
alcohol
things?
every
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah, it's very
um
important.
if you're going to choose the gym, there's just certain things your body will not allow you to do. The alcohol,
Alcohol. Alcohol.
you
Jesus Christ.
it's
You feel it.
you feel
You
it.
actually feel
You
it.
feel
The,
it.
the, the day you go back to the gym, you actually feel the
Woo!
alcohol doing is demonic things.
You feel it. Like your lifestyle will have you shaking.
Honestly, yeah, lifestyle is very important. Like when it's something, I learn every year
Mhm,
something different about my body, and I only discovered this information I'm about to share this year, which
mm,
is very funny. Usually, let's say last year, I cycle around,
mhm,
go from one place to another, and I have a certain amount of calories that I eat that gives me a cut.
mm,
And I realized this didn't work for me this year. Same, I'm heavier, but I'm eating the same as I was eating last year, so it's meant to give me a cut. Then I sat down and looked at my lifestyle,
lifestyle.
and I realized that I'm literally sitting 12 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I move is to go to the gym, and I don't even cycle to the gym. I
Mm,
use a public transport. I use a bus
mm.
to go to the gym. I don't cycle anywhere. I'm just sitting, and my only form of activity
Mm-hmm.
is the gym.
There you go.
So at the end of the day, what you do during the day counts a lot
Mm,
to your fitness goal. Definitely.
there you go. I think there's also like a few things to consider that maybe we could also add to this gym stuff. For example, like common health conditions to be careful about,
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of us here in uni, we're young people, but I definitely know that there are people who have health conditions. We have asthmatics, you know what I mean? Maybe some people have like some heart conditions or
Yeah.
things like that. So these are also things to be careful about when you're, going to the gym, to not overexert yourself,
Yeah.
the times you're going to the gym. So let's say, for example, you're an asthmatic. During the winter time, you have to be careful, because, all the cold can trigger an attack.
The attack,
Maybe you're
yeah.
dragging at 1 a.m. to go to the gym. Maybe it's not a good idea.
I've actually had asthmatic clients,
Mm.
and I don't know why, but the intensity doesn't affect their.
Yeah, intensity doesn't. I think, like, because even if you're, with studying about asthma, intensity
The intensity
doesn't
doesn't
trigger an
usually
attack.
trigger the attack.
No. Usually attacks are triggered by, for example, cold
Cold
air.
air,
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe it would be that would you need to be
That
careful
yeah,
about, like,
definitely.
when you're choosing to do an intense workout or take a jog, in
Yeah,
the cold morning. You have to be careful with that. Now this is just general. This is not even gym related.
like just to be healthy, to
Yeah,
take care of
yeah, to take care of
yourself.
yourself and people that have like musculoskeletal like conditions. So actually, something happened to me earlier on, and I ended up actually sleeping over at the ER because
Whoa.
I pulled a chest muscle at the gym. So I think I was just really stressed out. I wasn't paying attention because, especially with heavy weights, you have to also lift them carefully. Things like not lifting weight with your back. All these
Yeah.
other things are also important when you're working out at the gym. But I pulled the chest muscle. But you know what it felt like? It felt like angina. So
Jesus.
angina, for those who don't know, is like this sharp chest pain that people get when they're getting a
A
heart
heart
attack.
attack. Yeah.
So that's what I felt, and I couldn't breathe. So I stopped everything. Like initially, I'd carried like 20 kilos, and as I dropped them, I felt that sharp pain in my chest. So I went to the side and I just breathed and I rested for a little bit. And I said, let me give myself a break, like 3 minutes. And then I'm breathing, and everything. And then I'm like, okay, let's go. But I didn't go to the 20 kilos. I went to the 5. I couldn't even lift that.
Wow.
Then I knew that, okay, there's something where I should
Something
stop
is
now.
wrong, yeah.
And then I left the gym. I came home. Walking, breathing was so hard. I'm walking up the stairs into my building to catch the elevator. It was hard as well. Then I came home and I was like, okay, let me just rest. Came to my bed, rested, called a friend, and I told them, I said, this is what I'm feeling. And I was literally like out of breath. And I was like, okay, these are not great symptoms. So for those who don't know, these are associated with cardiac symptoms or heart symptoms.
Yeah.
So this is really not a good sign. So I'm sitting there for hours. And
Wow, you waited for hours.
I know, right? I knew it. I knew it.
You waited for hours.
Yeah, because I was just like, I think I'm going to feel better, And then my friend was like, you know what, we're actually waiting for hours, and there's time windows for all these things like thrombolysis and stuff like that.
You need to get something done.
Exactly. And I know that, but I'm just like, okay, maybe I'll feel better. But I was just so confused, like what triggered this? So I go to the ER. I thank God, because I didn't also want to wait, because sometimes you have to wait for so long, at emergency. So I went, and then I didn't wait for too long. I think maybe 30, 45 minutes to an hour. I think that's how long I waited. And immediately, I told them my symptoms and everything. Fam, they were rushing. I had ECG here, taking blood here, everything. They're taking everything, and after that, then they were like, okay, we have to admit you, have to monitor you, and stuff like that. And then I had to sleep over there. They had to take a chest X-ray. But while I was there, then another doctor came and she started asking me, okay, can you describe again what happened and stuff? So I told him I was working out at the gym and I was lifting out some weights, and then I felt this like sharp chest pain and everything. And then she was like, okay, do you feel any, what exerts the pain or makes it more, or something like this? And then I was just like, right now I just feel like when I try to move and stuff like that. So she pushed my chest wall, fam. And I felt so much pain. She was like, I'm 99% sure it's a musculoskeletal problem, because if it is your heart, you're not going to feel extra pain because it's a visceral organ.
But how she know this though? Like,
because my ECG was fine.
Okay.
Exactly. My blood work was fine. Yeah. Everything was fine. So there wasn't anything.
So it's like an exclusion.
Yeah, exactly. So there wasn't anything reflecting that there's a cardiac event happening. So no troponin, no what. So she was like, she's pretty sure that's what it is. And it made sense she said, you probably pulled the chest muscle. So of course I went home, but I was still in pain and discomfort and I could hardly breathe. And then they gave me some IV diclofenac, and then I was able to sleep. And then the next day I was still feeling
kind of uncomfortable.
We did the X-ray. My X-ray was cleared, and then I came back home, and then I just rested it out, because that's what you do when you have a pulled muscle. You just rest it out and let it, and then I was fine after that. But it was really scary. So just be careful at the gym. Try to always lift.
Train safe.
Train safe. Lift weights carefully. This is why form is important. I know people are just like, it's so important.
It's very important.
Because you can get injured very easily. Yeah.
Easily. Form is very important.
What are the misconceptions about the gym that you think?
Oh, there are a lot. Where do I start from? Let's start from the girls. Yeah, we'll start from the girls. This one is very common. The heavier you lift, the bigger you'll be. Yeah,
no, that's not true. I would be big as hell
exactly.
if
But
if
there's
that were
still
the case.
many girls out there
Who think that?
that think the heavier you live, the bigger you be. They don't want to look like muscular like me because so they rather stick to lifting 2 kg. Yeah,
That's not true.
it's a misconception
That's
and
true.
it's very common.
Yeah, I think I used to think like that a little bit because like I said, I don't have a lot of fat in general. Probably do right now, but in general, you know what I mean? Like, so I worried very much about this because I feel like I get toned much easier. So I
Yeah.
worried that my muscles were gonna be too defined, and that's not the look that I was going for. But the things that are contributing to that, it's so much more than
It's
just what you're lifting, it's what you're
exactly
eating, as well, your diet.
hormones.
There you go. We have this whole hormone business going on as well
Yeah,
that
like
contributes so much as well. So definitely you won't, like, for you to become as muscular as those women you see on Instagram. If you look at their lifestyle,
oh,
they live and breathe their workout plan, their diet plan, their weightlifting.
and they
That's how you
inject
get that big.
testosterone too.
Not you just coming from
Yeah.
edutainment and then going to the
Nah,
gym for
you
two
can.
hours
Like
lifting your 10
honestly,
kilos.
most of those women that are big actually purposely take anabolics.
There you go.
So you need to actually take anabolics to look.
Because it's much harder for women to achieve that
Yes,
than for men.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's a misconception. Another one is waist trainers. God, waist trainers will just get rid of your belly fats. It's actually funny and cute.
Oh, don't
But
do that.
the
Don't do that to the
concept
girls.
the concept makes sense. I mean, if you try to squeeze the fat, maybe.
He's just saying go book your flight to Turkey, get your liposuction. Is that what you're telling us to do,
No,
fam?
I'm just
We out
saying
here trying to snatch the waist.
with the waist trainers. The concept makes sense. Like maybe if you squeeze the fat out, it's probably gonna squeeze out of your body. I
What I've
don't know.
seen is that, like, also like the heat will be burning. It will
Oh
now be
my
hot. If you sweat, it
god!
means that the
So it is
waist is
frying it.
going.
It
Yeah.
is frying the. It is frying the fat.
Yes, it's frying the fat.
Nah,
Is that
it's
true?
not. Oh,
Ah, that's kind of sad, actually.
I wish it's. Oh, trust it. So if it was that easy, I would have been on waist trainers a long time
I'm
ago.
done.
A long time ago. It's a misconception. It doesn't work. If you really want to lose your belly fat, except from liposuction, then calorie deficit.
Another misconception is that after you start working out at the gym, you will become body confident.
Oh fuck! Oh
I feel like
fuck!
I think you might lose your confidence before you even gain it.
It is a cycle.
It's
It
a
is a
cycle.
cycle.
It's
Like
actually
it
a
goes
cycle.
literally up, down, up, down.
Yes.
It's
And I think sometimes I feel like it's because I feel like before I went to the gym, like I never used to analyze my
your
body that
body. You
much.
don't
You
look
know what
at
I mean?
yourself
So
as
I was
much.
just like, cool. But I think when I started working out at the gym, because you start to know how to build certain parts of your body, certain muscles. So you obviously pay attention to those
Mm-hmm.
things. So I think you become even more critical.
Of yourself.
You
But do you
become
think it's a bad thing though?
Mm, I uh I think it can become a bad thing, you know,
How?
if you are hypercritical about your body. This is why I talked about, sometimes how girls think that they're going to look like they're the women that
Okay,
train on
yes, yes,
Instagram,
yes, yeah.
and you're constantly critiquing your body when you look in the mirror. Why is my bum not bigger? Why is my
Mm-hmm.
waist not smaller? Why don't I have abs? And you're not putting the your natural frame, your natural metabolism, all those other things into consideration, your diet or your lifestyle into consideration, how far these people are going to achieve the bodies that they have and what you're working with and all that stuff. So I think it can become a really bad thing. I mean, I think if you have like a body dysmorphia or something like this, like it could worsen before it
Mm-hmm.
gets better. But I think
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think going to the gym. I think, of course, there was a time I became quite critical and I became really paranoid as well. That whenever I didn't go to the gym, even if I skipped one day, I was just like, I'm gonna lose my gains. I'm gonna lose my gains. Everything's
I'm still
gonna go
like that.
away.
I'm
You get my
literally still
point?
like
So
that.
that's not a healthy state of mind
Yeah.
because I mean, and at the end of the day, like your body is already dynamic. I think especially for women, it's just continuously going to change. So I think it's something we need to accept. Yes, we work out. Yes, we want to achieve these looks and things like that, but understand it's dynamic.
It's
It's
dynamic,
not going to be
definitely.
permanent. If you're stressed out, some people lose weight. If you're stressed out,
Some people gain weight.
some people gain weight. So all these things are contributing. So you take it in stride. I think the most important thing actually is to be healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
So to practice healthy habits, healthy eating, exercise or physical activity, and then just do your best. Keep pushing that. Don't be too critical of
Just be the
yourself.
best version of
Yeah,
yourself. Yeah.
exactly. And you can't even be the best version of yourself, especially physically, all the time.
Yes,
It
definitely
comes
not.
and
It
goes.
comes and goes.
It comes
It
and goes.
comes and
I promise
goes.
you, I think there was a time like my abs were just crazy. And it comes and goes, and those times I'm looking like that, and there's times I'm not, and it just goes up and down. There's times I have a fupa too, there's
Yeah.
times
And it can happen in weeks, months. It's just
it's just up and down.
up
There's
and
times I'm
down.
bloated, there's times I'm this, so it's okay. That's life. Even your favorite trainer, your favorite bodybuilder, they have
They
those
have
times
those
because the
times too,
pictures
for
that you're
sure.
seeing,
It's their
it's a
best
point
picture,
in time.
literally.
We are flexing
We
so
are
hard.
flexing our lives.
Exactly.
Wake up in the morning, dry as fuck. The first thing we do is take a shirtless picture because we know we look best in the morning.
No water weight,
No water
no
weight.
nothing, and
No.
you're just like starved.
Yeah.
You haven't broken your fast. So so don't be hard on yourself, guys. Basically,
Don't play yourself.
yeah,
Just
it's
take it
fine.
easy.
Take it
Take
easy.
it
Take it
easy.
easy. Fam, this education segment is just us just chatting about the gym now because this is what we like. But yeah, I think we wanted to share a little bit more information and everything like that. But I think so Tammy is a personal trainer, and I think it would be great if you plug your programs and whatever so that people interested in the gym can find out what they can benefit from you.
Okay. Are we talking about my programs? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like you can talk about your programs or if anyone's interested, what you have to offer and where they can find you and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have two Instagram accounts. One
Okay.
is for business and the other one is for pleasure.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll tag them, guys, so you can check them out.
You can find me on Dr. T Shreds. Literally just type in Dr. T Shreds on Instagram. Most of the time, I mean, most of my clients are online,
Okay.
but I also accept in person because it's easier to handle online than in person because of other work. And we offer a workout plan and a diet plan. The diet plan and workout plan is based on your goals. For the diet plans, I actually worked with a dietitian
Nice.
to help come up with this thing because we're learning every day, you know. And even in med school, while I was in med school, I purposely took like 4 sports medicine courses as electives.
Okay.
But I learned a lot from that, like dieting, fitness, how to actually target the fats usage rather than carbs usage and all that. So yeah, our service is basically training, which is gonna definitely give you the body you want, and diet plan, which is you probably won't find a better diet plan than that ever. And another misconception that I forgot to mention, carbs. Everyone assumes carbs are bad for you.
I go for carbs.
God, carbs are the best thing.
Carbs. I definitely
They
go
are
for
actually the
carbs.
best thing. And honestly, I also had this misconception till I took one of my courses in sports medicine, and they were analyzing how most athletes that are up there do not even touch their carbs. Like they don't go low in their carbs. Their carbs are always above 250, 300 grams.
They
Yes.
touch everything else.
Yeah, exactly. They touch everything else, but carbs are always high there. And it makes sense.
Because that's where you get a lot of energy.
Yeah, you get a lot of energy from it. So, yeah, about my services, training, diet plan, and mental support because
you need it for the gym
you
sure.
need it.
I think I realized that even though I enjoy the gym and I enjoy watching these fitness ladies, I realized that I can't be a trainer because I think that requires a lot of patience. And I think my idea is I want to train motivated people. But then motivated people don't need a trainer.
Even need a trainer. Exactly.
You get my point.
Exactly.
So definitely I can't be a trainer because I would have to train the people who are not motivated.
Yeah, you need them to have the mental support because sometimes it's easy. It's very easy for people to give up. You need to be there to let them know that you went through it too, because it's very when someone knows that it's the same thing that goes on, it's not, you're not the only one, because this is what every beginner is afraid of. Every beginner is afraid of, what if I'm that 1% that can't do it, or if it's only me that is feeling this way about this, what if it's only me that is this weak? And I have videos documented of previous clients and myself, and I show them, this is this person doing exactly the same shit you're doing, and this is him or her now. So trust me, it is normal to feel this way. It's gonna pass. You're gonna get to where you want to get to.
Push through.
Fam.
Wow. Anyways, I think this has been really good. Like this, I think fitness discussion, I think it's good for people to know that it's important, and I think it will also help to attenuate the kind of lifestyles that we're living in uni. Because I remember my aunt who works in the health field, she talked about how a lot of young people abuse their bodies in their youth because they feel like they're invincible and things like that. But this body that you're mistreating right now or abusing with, whether it's drugs, whether it's this, is the body that is going to carry you through your old age. And that's the kind of old age you're going to have. And old age is not even like 60s, 70s. That's if you make it that far, depending on how much you're abusing your body. But once you start to hit your 30s, you really start to see like how your body is going to be, depending on how well you invested in it or how poorly you invested in it. You start to feel it once you hit 30. If you're investing in its health and in building good habits, you age slower and more comfortably. You know what I mean? But if not, it will be a terrible, excruciating process for you. It will be an excruciating process, man. Tell me, it's been real, fam. Like Debrecen, everything, the journey is kind of coming to its end for you. And I can imagine how that's been, the hardships, the celebrations. I think it's amazing that, you became, I don't know if you knew you were going to become a personal trainer when you came to Debrecen.
I had no idea. Because honestly, base form, interacting with people, especially when I came here my first 2 years, interacting with people was difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
So were you like quiet or were you timid?
Timid. Not quiet, timid. More like timid, like shy. I was very, I was that little tiny Nigerian kid that I feel like if I say one word, someone's gonna punch me in the face kind of guy.
Oh my God.
I know that's an exaggeration, but so imagine that's how I felt when I came here. So of course I had no idea that I'm gonna be someone that's actually good with interacting with people, because of course I enjoy interacting with people now. Like I like talking to people. I like socializing and all that. So that wasn't the plan, but I'm very happy that it actually came along, because it's made me meet different kind of people, different amazing people that I can actually learn from. Because at the end of the day, whatever business you're doing, if it involves interacting with people, you're also learning from them somehow.
For sure. For
Somehow.
sure.
So I'm glad it came along. So I'm never gonna stop. It's gonna always be a side hustle.
Yeah. Okay, so what's going to be the main?
Oh, you know now.
I don't
I'll
know.
be in the hospital working day shift.
Oh, I personally, I don't know about that one.
What?
I'm
You
serious.
don't want to work in the hospital?
Do you know that a medical degree can make you so much more than a person who works in a hospital?
Yeah,
A
of course I
clinician?
do. I definitely do.
Okay.
Definitely,
Because
but
I feel like it's something that's so far at the back of our mind that those are the
we
only
just assume that
opportunities.
we can only work as doctors.
Yeah, or those are the only opportunities we really pursue when we could also pursue other things, actually. So,
Give me an example, just in case I don't know.
okay. So, I mean, there's administrative medicine, you know, there's research, there's
Okay, I see, I
yeah,
see,
you
I
can work
see.
behind the scenes, but you
Yeah,
actually the only job the being a clinician is not the only
only
way you
job, you
can
can be a
participate in the
doctor.
medical industry
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
it's so big. There's financial aspects of industry, there's administrative aspects of the medical industry, there's social aspects of the industry, there's studies, there's surveys, there's a lot.
Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. But if you think about it, how many people are thinking about that stuff when we're thinking about the next step?
But don't you think, like, for instance, research?
Mhm.
Um, Usually people that go into research, are they like, did they finish from medical school or they do another specialty? Because I know there's a specialty
Mhm.
for researchers. I know there's something like that.
I'm not really aware particularly how that goes, but that's just my general point
Mm-hmm.
because like um people don't even think that actually I
I
could
could be
be a
something. Yeah,
researcher.
okay,
So I
yes,
could
yeah,
go this way. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because I
Mm-hmm.
think being a clinician also has its own like skills and this and this and that. So I don't believe that everybody who studied medicine will be a
Go be a
clinician.
clinician.
Someone can become a radiologist and they don't have to really
Okay,
interact
okay,
with
I see,
with
I see,
patients and
I
things
see,
like
I
that.
see, I see.
So even in the different specialties, there's a specialty for everyone in the medical field, and that could be you can be a clinician. Let's say you're doing internal or whatever, obs and gyne, this, all the different kinds of field, or you can be administrative. I don't know if you've watched New Amsterdam.
No, I'm
I did.
not.
I haven't really watched it, but there's a particular doctor who's administrating the other doctors and the hospital. So they're
Okay,
an administrator. They're not,
but don't
but
you
who
need
understands.
some kind of degree for that? Like, that's not medical degree.
I think so, but just like how, for example, if you want to specialize in something, what do you have to do?
Fair enough,
Exactly.
residency.
So, so this is my point that when you're making the next step, whether it's residency, it's what, it doesn't have to be residency in the some clinical job. It can
Yeah,
also be a residency or a program that involves other things,
yeah, fair
and you
enough.
can go from there. Because all those people who are doing that, they have medical degrees, and
True
that's my
that.
point. And we are not really
Yeah,
taught to think like
yeah,
that,
we just assume
to
that we need
open
to be in a
our
clinic.
horizon. Exactly. And I feel like maybe we don't explore our abilities as much as a result because we are just uh, channeling ourselves into, okay, I have to go do USMLE, learn a language, go here, go there, go there. And then residency,
Yeah.
residency, residency into what? Oh, I want surgery, I want internal medicine, I want obs and gyne, I want this, I want that, I want that. And then nobody's opening up our mind to all the other possibilities. And maybe you find out later, but it could be good to know everything now and you really pick a path
Mm-hmm.
that's good for you. So yeah, anyways, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. I mean, you were in Debrecen for a while, just like me, and everything like that. And I thought a really interesting part that I've been meaning to talk about is like interracial dating in
Mm.
Debrecen.
Ha.
Like, do you feel like Debrecen has evolved and is accepting of interracial couples?
Okay. I can imagine we were both in the same time. You remember how it was then.
But I never dated interracially
Oh,
then.
but at least you knew people that did, and you knew the kind of eyes they got. But then, actually, it was kind of a big deal, not like in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a problem, especially among the our girls, the black girls.
Okay.
Yeah, they found it irritating then that, oh, every Nigerian guy just wants to be with a white chick or with someone else. They found it irritating, which is understandable, but still, it was our preference then. You get me? But then again, we were young. All of us were young, 18, 19. So I could understand why they thought like that. They were also young. So then it wasn't really accepted. And I can remember this very well. When I was dating a white girl, I could not take her to Miami Bar because I was literally scared of the eyes. And I know so many people that were like that. Like they could not take her to Miami Bar or any Afrobeat this thing because of the eyes. It's because there's those eyes that, you know. But I think definitely we have evolved, or maybe it's because I don't know. But definitely we have evolved in the sense that people are more accepting of interracial. Even then, the white boys too hated it when they saw black guys with white girls. They really hated it. You could tell they hated it. Now it's maybe it's because I don't notice it, but now it's accepted. Like no one
And I
really
think
gives a
maybe,
fuck.
probably also social media has also kind of desensitized the stigma around it, and it's just like, hey, let people love who they want to love.
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
kind of thing.
So yeah, but I know then it was actually such a big deal. I remember then it
And
was.
I mean, I can imagine, um, I mean, you're speaking from your own perspective as per how your own community of people received
Yeah.
it and everything like that. How do you feel like? Because I tend to assume that, when Hungarians see other white people, they probably assume that they're Hungarian.
Yeah, true that.
So, like, how did you feel like Hungarians would look at your couple, if that makes sense? Like, if you're working with a white girl, for example.
Uh, then
Because I
again.
feel like Hungarians there,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
already there.
Yeah,
You know what I
then
mean?
it was a big deal actually. Then I was with a, I'm not going to say the nationality, but white girl. And sometimes we cross the road and people take
Pictures.
pictures
Bro.
or guys make comments. You know, I don't register it, but she does register it. Like it stays in her head. So then it was kind of a problem. Now, nah, I don't. Maybe no one has the balls to look at me, but nah, I don't notice it actually. They don't stare. They don't look at us like that kind of way. More of envious, maybe, or but not in a bad way, in a good way.
Nah, you feel.
Yeah, I feel.
Okay.
I don't think they have any negative energy towards me being with her, unless they were interested in that girl.
Then it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
this is the girl we're looking towards.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think I've always been curious about this because I feel like, um I don't know. I'm not really sure because yeah, I haven't been involved in the student community
Mm-hmm.
for a while now, but I feel like, or I do hope that we mingle more because I
Yes.
think before everybody kind of mingled with their own group of
Group of
people, either their
people.
own race or either their own nationality and things like that. But I feel like
Nowadays
everybody's
is
kind of
better.
just mixing together.
Nowadays is way better.
So I'm pretty sure like people are also dating racially, culturally, whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
you want to call it. And I think that probably then everybody gets used to that and everybody, it's no longer like, you know?
Yeah, it's no
It's
longer.
no longer this.
I went through the two phases, when it was and
And
now
then
that
now it's
it's
just like
yeah,
everybody's
it is what
chilling.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I guess it's nice for the youngins to come into a community that's
Yes,
kind of
often
like more
honestly,
accepting
yeah, it's
and
good
things
for
like that.
them. It's good for
Honestly, I feel
them.
like probably there was a time I also used to feel that way.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
Even me too.
Yeah, I think there was a time I used to feel that way. And I also felt that because we are so culturally different, I think between um it's hey, for me, I feel like everyone has a culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I mean, now we're just referring to white as white and not referring to a
Yeah,
particular nationality.
of course,
But
yeah.
I think that can apply to some degree because I think we also have like black culture. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think so because we're so different in that regard. I think that I would see it like because let's say in a lot of black culture with women, I think we tend to be more hard to get or play hard to get.
Yep.
Let me
Yep.
say play hard to
Play
get.
hard to
We
get.
play hard to
That's the
get a
word.
lot. So it started to feel like you guys didn't just want
We
to
want
make
to put the
effort.
effort.
So you went for the culture where the women don't play hard to get. That was the idea.
Yeah, it makes sense. It
Yes,
makes
that was the
sense. Yeah.
idea. And I feel like to a certain extent it's true. You get what I'm saying? I think to a certain extent it was true, and then in another extent it was just like someone was just going for someone that they liked.
Yeah, it was.
And I think there's also that other part where we are all young people exploring. You get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So like it's not a crime to
To
date.
try, yeah,
It's
something else.
someone out of outside your race or your culture
Yeah,
or your nationality or anything like that. Like that's the time to see what is for you
what
and
you
what's not for you,
prefer.
and exactly. So
Exactly.
there's actually nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, it's always hard to accept things that are different and that are outside the norm. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we will all have to grow out of those like mentalities and stuff.
Yeah, I hope the kids I mean, the ones that are coming in have grown out of that mentality. Maybe I'm just saying this
Hmm.
because no, I'm not involved in their generation.
Hmm. Of course,
So
yeah.
maybe they are still with our mentality when we
Yeah,
started. You
I'm pretty
get
sure
me?
there'll be some few who are,
Yeah.
but generally, I think their generation is just more open,
Yeah,
I
they're
feel like their
actually
mind is
way
just
more
open.
open.
Their mind is
Yeah.
open. I don't even know if that's a good thing or a
I'm
bad
so
thing, but I'm
envious.
so happy
Actually,
for them,
yeah, I'm so
I'm just like,
envious.
damn, they have this courage to do so many things that we didn't have the courage to do.
We didn't
Maybe
have
we're
the
only finding the
balls.
courage to do now. Now you're just
Yeah.
like, you're just old now, so you don't care. But for them, it's like boldly,
Yeah,
authentically
they're
with their
doing
young, naive
everything
self,
they
and
want to
their
do.
yeah, they're like, nah, I'm doing this.
Good, good for
Yeah,
them. Good for them.
yeah, I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Tebby, for coming over. This
Thank you
guy and I
for
will always
having
have
me.
so much to talk about. So hopefully,
We can use the whole day.
yes,
We can
but
actually use the whole day.
we'll definitely hopefully you'll have time and you come back to the podcast. We take it a little bit further,
I'll be
you know what
back.
I mean?
I'll be back.
And yeah, I'm really wishing the best for you in the next chapter,
Thank
in
you
the
very
side
much.
hustle, in the main hustle, all the plans that you have. Thank you so much for coming to the Journey of Life
Thank you very much.
podcast. Um, like I always tell you guys, life is but a journey. So bon voyage.